Yo. Welcome to the Choppin It Up podcast featuring your boy Jordan.
What up? It's your boy Eric.
And we back at it. So, what we got going today, bro?
We got something that I'm excited to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
One of our favorite artists at the time put out a new album. And let's just say that it was
fire.
Yeah, it was fire.
That's what I expected.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Anderson Paak's Ventura album, bro.
Ventura.
What an album, man. What an album. I think it was an album that I expected just because of just the soulful R&B vibes that I liked about it. And I know when we talked about what we're kind of hoping for the album.
Yeah.
I feel like we were kind of accurate, man, in regards to what we thought it was going to be like.
I feel like whenever we first heard that there was another album coming out, I think we were more than surprised because it was like he had just dropped a project.
Just did, yeah.
And we were like, okay, cool. Usually when an artist puts out an album so quickly, it isn't that great.
It's not.
Like, honestly,
it's
whenever it's
throwaway
project after
songs.
project, sometimes it feels like that. But
sure.
this was like Oxnard and Ventura are almost on like two different ends of the spectrum almost.
Yeah, I agree. I personally, and we'll go in detail about the songs on the album, but I felt like I liked Ventura more than Oxnard, bro.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just because I just really do love the R&B soulful vibes of it. Not saying Oxnard didn't have that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was able to relate more to Ventura in regards to just, he had some serious soulful artists, R&B artists, Smokey Robinson, and Layla had like people like that. And with me, like we talked about in the Music Evolution episode, like I grew up on a lot of music like that. So I think that's for me. I kind of related more to just that old school vibe, and so Oxnard was great. I mean, I had it on my top 10 for a reason, but Ventura, man, it's that album, man, where I'm really just like I can't stop listening to it.
It's a really good album. I personally really enjoy it.
Yeah.
My first listen, I was like, I just taking it in. I wasn't really trying to really dissect it on my first listen, just trying to enjoy it for what it was. And man, that was such a good listen.
It was. I was excited too, bro.
I was doing laundry. It was just kind of doing something and having it there, and just man, it made things go by so quick. Like I was lost in the music. Honestly,
it flowed so well, man.
It does. That's one thing that I love about it is that it flows. Like it just kind of takes you through the album, and everything sounded really good. Like very rich. Like all the instruments,
the I barely heard any just like 808 beats or
very digital sounding things. Like it was there
was a lot of just real drums. It started off with real drums. There was a lot of just that real instruments, which I love big time. I love live music.
Yeah, I feel that,
bro, big time. And so, man, I really just feel like, honestly, bro, when I was listening to it for the first time, I was like, dang, I kind of wish this album was like 2 songs longer. I don't know why.
You just wanted more?
I just wanted more, just because I'm just like, man, I wish there was more music like this, just because there's really not.
Yeah, it's so weird. It was almost like a time capsule. Yeah. Like you got transported to like that era in music almost with this album. Yeah. It was just so authentic when it comes to that sound, and it was so like you can definitely see how much he respects that era of music. Yeah. And seeing like the different artists who contributed to it, you can definitely see that, it was almost like a passion project for him. Yeah.
I think this album, man, it's gonna really take him different places, man. And I know with me seeing some people talk negatively about it online on Twitter, people didn't like it just because of just it's bland, or just the instruments on the album, it's too real, or people are so used to the digital stuff nowadays, bro.
There was someone who really didn't like it. Yeah. They said that they preferred that Logic album that had just come out.
Oh, the Supermarket. Yeah, that album is trash.
That album was really bad. Like being honest, and I'm
a big Logic fan.
I have love for Logic, and I like Logic's. Most of Logic's music is good to me, but that album was kind of weird. But anyways, going back to it, so he said that he just didn't like it. He said, that it was not a hip hop album, and that's when I was like, well, yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't a hip hop album.
It's not.
And if you went into it expecting like, I don't know, like something off of Oxnard or something like that, like you weren't gonna get that. It was Anderson Paak being, authentically himself in the sense of like he's his roots are in soul and gospel and R&B, like, and it bled through. Like, that album is a soul album.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a soul album. It's not a hip hop album.
And I remember seeing something too earlier about how like maybe Anderson is trying to be like Bruno Mars or something crazy like that. I did
see something about that.
And I'm just like, dude, like, why? Like, why are y'all trying to compare them?
Yeah, and it's just like, what does Bruno Mars have to do with that? Like, I guess people were like, oh, he's trying to sound like, it's like, no. This is an authentic, like, soul sound that's coming out of this album. It's not like some, like, pop chart album.
But the thing is that Anderson has always been consistent with his sound.
Exactly.
His sound, I mean, he can go into funk if he really wanted to, and he has before.
But it does have a little bit, like, it has, like, there's some tracks where I can see the influences from like Parliament Funk and George Clinton and stuff like that. But
he's always stayed consistent with
it. Yeah, exactly. You can see it in all his music, and that's where I was surprised that people were like hating on it for it being like that style of music when it's like, what you're gonna get when you listen to Paak.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. And that's why I'm like, don't compare artists, because I don't think. I'm sure Bruno Mars he's of course he's blowing up right at the moment. He has his, huge albums and hits and everything. But I do feel like Anderson .Paak, I think he's still below Bruno Mars in regards to people really recognizing who he is.
Definitely,
which is fine. That's cool.
Everybody knows who any age you can ask him who Bruno Mars is, and they know.
But man, Anderson is right there just because of his originality, his sound, the way he creates, and I don't like the comparison. I don't think it's a good comparison. Let them be.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Let them be different, man. They're artists. They're different people.
Like at the end of the day, each have their own like distinctive sound and style, and I guess people were like trying to compare it to like 24 Karat Magic or whatever.
That's stupid, bro.
I think that was the name of the album, which I personally enjoyed. It was cool. It was a cool album. Yeah. It was like very like late 80s, early 90s, like R&B kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was cool. But definitely, I think Anderson .Paak is in his own lane, doing what he likes to do, and I feel like people should respect that for what it is.
So I guess my question is, what's next, man, for Paak? What is next in your opinion? Because I wonder what he's gonna do next. I'm sure he has music up galore, but I just wonder what's next, bro. Because he is so creative. But I'm just wondering, what is going to be his next sound? Is this still going to be similar to this, or it's kind of hard, man?
I feel like he will stay somewhere in the same vein as Oxnard and Ventura, and I feel like it's been like him progressing into his own style of like using his influences, because you see it from like his very first album, and then going all the way towards Ventura, you see the growth in his writing and music. And I was reading like some, which we'll talk about later in that song he did with Smokey Robinson, where he gave him some advice on like, how to write a love song almost, and how to write those lyrics and how to make it sound sweet. And
that's true.
It was cool seeing that, someone as famous and someone who is a legend kind of give that advice to someone so young and early in his music career. But I don't know where he's going next, because he did record Ventura at the same time he was recording Oxnard. So I feel like for the time being, we might not get a project
for a while,
for a minute maybe, because it was like 3 years since Malibu or something like that. When he dropped Oxnard, which is a long time. But I don't know what could be next. What do you think his sound is going to sound like?
I think honestly, I feel like he's going to stay in the R&B type sound for now.
You think?
I think with him having these R&B and soul artists that was featured on his album, I feel like really going forward, he probably had a lot of inspiration from them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like Smokey Robinson. You have people like Brandy. You have people like Layla Hathaway. He had some soulful legends that were on that album.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally feel like, since he's been kind of like in the funk and then soul and R&B, I feel like he's going to stay in the R&B sound because, bro, he's honestly, man, if he can really just be consistent with the R&B sound for now, he's going to kill it, bro.
Yeah.
The thing is that R&B kind of is, in my opinion, dimmed in the industries because it's not going to be popular.
Yeah.
It's not like rap or anything.
Yeah.
Or hip-hop. So that's the only thing, but I don't think he cares about that really.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he's always just been authentically himself. And
yeah.
Any interviews that I've watched with him, you can kind of just see that he just carries himself the same in any situation that he's in.
He's going to always, bro, and that's the thing. That's why I can't wait just for what's next, even though I need to kind of calm myself down. He just came out with really 2 albums in like a year. So it's just like, man, I'm just so excited to see where he's going. And I'm still jealous that you're going to the concert coming up soon. So.
Man, I'm hyped. I'm so hyped. He's going to have Mac DeMarco there, and he's going to have Thundercat. And I'm just excited to be able to hear some of these songs live because I know that it's just going to be a completely different experience.
Man, bro, the Free Nationals, bro,
Free Nationals are fire.
They're going to be cold,
bro. Talking about Free Nationals, Anderson Paak just recently on Instagram, I think he confirmed that they're going to drop a new single soon or something like that.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, bro.
So I'm excited.
I need it. So let's go into depth about the album. I personally have my favorite song that's on there, but we can get into that in a minute. But let's start from the beginning, bro. Come Home, Andre 3000, bro.
So I was
hyped.
Whenever I saw the features list, I was like, I just want to know how it's gonna sound. Like, what is the direction they're gonna go with this? Because I haven't heard Andre 3000 on a song in a minute.
Album, bro.
In a minute, I haven't heard him do anything in a really long time.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I was like, I don't know what is it gonna sound like. Especially whenever we heard King James, like we heard the sound that he was kind of going for, and knowing that it was gonna be this like soulful sound, I was just like, how is Andre gonna come in on this?
Yeah, that's true.
What is he gonna do,
bro? Andre, man, when I was listening to the song, man, and Andre came in with his verse, I was just like, yo, we need more of him, dog.
Yeah,
we need more of Andre because he's just so cold at what he does, bro.
Man, just the way that
he flows,
his
bro,
flow is insane,
bro.
Always.
And so it's crazy to hear about the story about him because apparently he wasn't even supposed to. Anderson didn't think he was gonna be able to make it on the album.
That's what. If you guys listened on Apple Music, Anderson Paak. I don't know if it's on any other streaming platforms where he wrote these things down, but he actually gave in some insight on all of the songs that are on the album.
Yeah, which is cool.
And which was one of the things he said that Andre 3000 he kind of wasn't expecting to make the record just because of timing.
That's what's crazy about it because, I mean, he was just kind of talking about like literally he was in Italy and then Andre 3000 sent him the song or sent his verse and he was just like, well, like really, he really just sent me the verse. Like that's what's crazy about it, you know? And so, but man, when you listen to his verse, man, what he was talking about, like literally, bro, I was just like, and it was a good length of a verse for him, bro.
Like
it wasn't like nothing short or nothing.
No. I whenever he came in, I was like, I was kind of expecting it to be like this sweet, just like 8 bars, something like that.
Yeah, something quick.
But man, he goes in. He goes in.
That's why, bro. And that's what I'm saying, bro. We need more of Andre 3000, bro. We need more of him, bro, because he's so just with his lyrics, bro, just his creativity, like it's just so amazing, bro. Seriously, I wish we had more of him, dog. But that's just me.
Yeah, and it was such a great intro to the album.
Yeah, it was. It was perfect.
It hyped me up for like what's to come, and
for sure.
Just the way that it opened up with that like drum thing, and it was just the vocals on that. Man, it just took me back to something that I don't even know what it took me back to, but it was like it was almost nostalgic almost, and it was just like I didn't even grow up with this music, but like it felt that way. Exactly. It gave you that feeling.
You're right.
Which is something that people are talking about for this first song. That they're saying it's like a really soulful throwback to the golden age of rhythmic soul.
That's big.
And with characteristics of songs from like Motown Records golden age.
I'm telling you, bro, it has that Motown feel to it, bro. But with that new school feel to it though, as well. So, all right, the next one we got "Make It Better" featuring Smokey Robinson, bro, the OG.
Smokey Robinson.
The OG, and you kind of talking about just making the song sweet, bro. It had that sweet sound to it, and that's cool. I mean, honestly, bro, how amazing is it to have a legend like Smokey Robinson team up on a song with him, bro? Because
and kind of walk him through almost the process of creating a song like this.
You can't get better advice than Smokey Robinson, bro, because Smokey knows, like that R&B soulful vibe, and he's been through it, and he's up there in age, and so he definitely, I feel like, gave Paak some just good advice, bro, just for what's coming up next, and so I personally love the song. I loved it. I actually played it at the house with my mom. She's like, "Is that Smokey?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's him. That's Smokey." And so, I mean, even she noticed it, and she was like, "Who's that young boy that's on there?" I'm like, "That's Anderson Paak." And she's like, "Oh, wow, he's cold." Like and once my mom noticed it, that it has that old school vibe, So, and that was the same thing with "Reaching Too Much," which was with Layla Hathaway. My mom, like, I was playing a few songs at the house, and my mom was like, "This dude is nice, man." Like, he is so just at his age. He, just like I've been saying, like, his creativity is just incredible. Seriously, it's incredible. It is, for sure. He showed it on this album. And he has before, but he definitely put it to the works.
Yeah, and like a lot of the subject matter in this album deals with a lot with like love and falling out of love and like, just a lot of those themes that deals with like him going through fame and all this different things that comes with it and stuff like that. I feel like he gets really like personal. And vulnerable a lot of the times on this album, and
that's good.
On this song particularly with Smokey Robinson, it's about it follows lovers that fell out of love, and the speaker, however, seeks to find a way to mend the relationship, hoping that the partner also seeks to reignite what was lost. So like kind of what Smokey was trying to talk to Anderson about was kind of making the song sweet, almost kind of enticing, like
absolutely.
Hey, like, let me tell you how much I love you, how much I care about you still, So it was pretty cool. I loved it. Once you start listening to the album, it kind of just sucks you in.
It does.
Immediately.
It has you in there, man, and it's just like you don't want to. There's like no like stoppage on this album, bro. It's like just okay. This song is okay. Like I'll come back to it later. Like I was excited when it came out. I was like, "Yo, Eric, did you listen to it yet? Like, did you listen to it?" And I didn't get a chance to listen to it until like later today. But I was just like, man, I was excited because I knew I was like, you know what, this is gonna be that album that really I'm going to enjoy fully because it just has that vibe to it. So, man, it's just going through it, man. It's just like a crazy album, man. And so, so next we got "Reaching Too Much" with your girl Layla Hathaway.
Layla Hathaway.
Hathaway.
I forgot how I pronounced it, but I'm pretty sure.
Layla Hathaway, man, she's amazing. Again, like I said, my mom, she loves her. I actually got a chance to see her in concert. Like I said, I'm old school, bro. So I was probably one of the young dudes that was at the concert, but it's cool. Like I blend in. But I went with my dad to go see her, and I've been following her for a few years now, just because of my parents. And like I said when we did the kind of the review before the album came out, I was like, yeah, I feel like this album's gonna have that vibe because when you have Layla Hathaway on it, bro, she's all soul, all R&B, and this song was perfect with the drums on it, bro. I was like, dog. I mean, like I said, bro, this song was like, this is my favorite song on the album. It's my favorite song. This is my favorite song because, and it's not just because it has Layla. It's just because of just the sound that it has, bro.
It is a really cool track.
Yeah,
it is a really cool track.
And it changes the different rhythms. And it's like 2 in 1 almost.
Yeah, it's up there for me on like list of favorite tracks. I think, for me personally, I think that the opening song for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
It was so cool.
I don't blame you.
It was so cool.
I don't blame you, bro. blame you. And so, again, man, with Anderson having a wonderful artist like Layla, man, that has had history in the game in the industry, you can't get no better than that. And so, that's one of my favorite songs. It is my favorite song on the album, but there's others too that is very close. And Winter Circle is one of them, which is, I mean, bro, the vocals on Winter Circle, bro, the drums, this whole album just is so incredible. I don't think people really talk about that. I don't think people really are going into depth about the sound, bro. Like, just the sound of everything.
How rich everything is.
It's just perfect, bro.
One of my favorite things about this album is the instruments just sound so freaking clean.
Bro, seriously.
Like, I don't know. I forgot who mixed it. Was it Dr. Dre?
I know he was one of the. I don't know if he mixed. He might have mixed it. I don't want to quote it wrong, but I know Dr. Dre worked on the album, but I'm not for sure who mixed it. He might have been like the producer or I don't know, whatever. But he was definitely a part of it.
Yeah. Let's see who. Maybe I can find who did the mixing. Dr. Dre.
Okay, Dr. Dre, yeah.
Dr. Dre, yeah.
It makes sense then.
I mean, everything was just clean, and there was so much depth to everything.
It just sounded good, bro.
It sounded like you were in the room.
It sounded like you were in the studio with Anderson recording, bro.
It just feels good.
It felt really good. Winter Circle, man. Again, a song of mine that is honestly second to Reaching Too Much on my favorite songs on the album. Just the sound, the vocals, everything on the song is incredible. And so next, Good Hills, I think it was just like a short song. It's like a minute and something second song. It was really quick.
Yeah.
But honestly, bro, another song that I really love. He had Jasmine Sullivan on there.
It's the shortest track on the album.
Yeah. And he had Jasmine Sullivan, who has been in the game for a few years now. And she does a lot of R&B, different soul stuff. And he compared her to a younger Aretha Franklin, bro. And that's big to say, though.
Oh, yeah.
That is big to say. And, I mean, I honestly wish the song was longer. Seriously, I wish it was longer just because it had such a good sound to it. I keep saying sound, bro, but honestly, the sound is incredible, man.
This song is short because it apparently... it's very fitting because it details a short affair with a woman outside of Paak's main relationship. And, in the song, when you listen to it, it's Anderson Paak kind of going back and forth with Jasmine Sullivan on they're trading verses on perspectives on both the man and the woman. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. And then next we have Yada Yada. I don't remember too much of this song. I feel like this is one of the songs where I liked it, but I just was so hyped still over the first few songs that I kind of was just like, okay, yeah, this is cool, but let me kind of go back to Reaching Too Much. And I don't know. Do you remember much about it, Yada Yada?
For this song, I just remember he kind of was going in on the song. Yeah. Like he was saying what he was saying. He kind of describes his current state as if he's opened a gate into the prime of his career. So he's kind of feeling himself on this song.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
He talks about how he enjoys the perks of being where he is and how he spends his time wisely doing things that he's been wanting to do. So
yeah, okay.
It's a cool song where he's almost like flaunting kind of where he's at right now, kind of being a little braggadocious, but it's a cool song. It's a cool like upbeat
song. Yeah. I'm going to go back and listen to it because I remember, like I said, this song was good, but from what I remember, but I was just so still hyped, bro, over the first couple of songs. So next, we already know King James. I mean, we already know.
You already know. We'll link to the video where we reviewed the song. We did a whole track review, and you can listen with us. So you already know how we feel about King James.
Yeah, bro. We ain't even talking about it. Yeah,
we ain't even to bring it in.
Yeah. So next we got Chosen One featuring Sonya Elise. I've heard Sonya on a few songs regarding like Neo had her on his album. And she's very nice, bro. She's still new to the game, but she again just has that voice, that sweet voice. She can really sing, and I see too that Mac DeMarco did some he sampled Mac DeMarco's.
Yeah, he sampled a little bit of Mac DeMarco.
Yeah, that's cool.
On the beginning of this, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. You know, it's cool. You know, he's gonna be touring with him, so
yeah.
I'm sure they're really good. I'm sure they're good friends.
Don't get it started. So, Jet Black featuring Brandy, bro. I love this song.
I didn't know a single thing about Brandy until I am.
Brandy. No, I understand, but no, Brandy is cold, man. She's been at it for a long time. Of course, she's a sister of Ray J. I'm sure you know who Ray J is.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm just making sure, man.
I thought you were asking them.
Oh no. They know who Ray J is. They should know who Ray J is. We'll see. I'll have to fire y'all up later. Boy, you don't get. But no, I love this song. Jet Black, Brandy. You can't get no better than that. It's like a dance tune almost. Kind of has that dance feel to it. But it was like a natural. It just had that natural sound. Like not saying that this only song had it, but you just feel it had that natural dance tune.
It's almost like a jam set. You were kind of in the club and like you know they had a live band kind of feel.
Yeah, man. So I again, one of the songs that I absolutely love. And so next we got Twilight. I don't remember this song that much, bro. It's one of the songs that I definitely kind of was just like, I don't know.
So Twilight is a smooth R&B cut on this album with a bouncy bass line. It's kind of reminiscent of the Neptunes.
Okay, Neptunes, yeah.
And produced by one half of Pharrell Williams. Actually, no. So my notes wrong here. So it was produced by one of the half of the duo from the Neptunes and Pharrell Williams.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
cool.
that kind of makes sense.
Pharrell on there. That's what's up.
And then Paak's, talking about his significant other and how she keeps him grounded and focused on what is important. So it's kind of cool. I see where we're kind of going back into the song. I kind of remember the sound. You can kind of tell that it was definitely kind of had like a Pharrell influence into it. So it makes sense that Pharrell was on there. And so, this is another song that I might have to go back to and listen to it again. But I definitely enjoyed that song for sure. All right, so next we got What Can We Do featuring Nate Dogg, bro. Dude, this is the song that I was the most excited about.
Okay, yeah.
The most excited about because of the feature of Nate Dogg. I love G-Funk and
bro, what you know about G-Funk, bro?
A lot. I love G-Funk, man.
Yeah, that's my jam, dog.
Nate Dogg, man, he was something else. I'm really, really upset that we didn't get him for a longer period of time.
Yeah, rest in peace.
His vocals were something else.
For sure.
And it was kind of cool, man. The way that this album closed out was kind of crazy to me, how it was almost like a little bit like the end of To Pimp a Butterfly whenever Kendrick Lamar is interviewing Tupac. You remember?
I forgot about that.
You remember at the very end when he's interviewing Tupac and he's telling him this is he reads the full poem. You know how the poem's kind of going through the album?
That's crazy. I forgot about that.
And then at the end he reads the entire poem to Tupac.
Yeah, I forgot
about the butterfly.
Yeah.
And then
I'm gonna have to go back for sure.
You need to go back.
Yeah.
It's cool because you hear Nate Dogg kind of in the studio. He's like, "Oh man, delete that." He's like, "Take this cut," and Paak's like, "Nah, chill. Like, what? Where are you going?
Yeah, what can we do?
Where are you going?"
Yeah.
And he's kind of telling him like, "Hey, come back. Like, where are you going?
Where you going? Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro."
Anderson Paak goes, "Sound good, bro. Where you going?" And you just kind of start hearing Nate Dogg kind of just kind of fading away. And it was weird. It gave me a weird feeling like, man, Nate Dogg really isn't here anymore.
Yeah.
And
kind of reality hit.
Yeah, reality kind of hit of that. And it was cool, man, seeing, because apparently Dr. Dre had this kind of in his archives of one of the things that Nate Dogg did that he never used.
Yeah.
And it was just cool to see how he put a twist to that and how he put him on the track and how it went so well. Like, it seemed like they actually collaborated in the studio together and make this track.
Yeah.
So it kind of blew my mind on that end. And it had, it hadn't necessarily like the G-funk sound, but there was definitely influences in the track.
Absolutely.
And it felt good. It was a good track. It just kind of made you feel like happy listening to it. Yeah. The way when I listened to it, it was just, maybe it was just because I was so excited to hear Nate Dogg and Anderson Paak makes a song together.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy to me. I felt like it was a great way to close the album, kind of just give us this almost like sketch to end the album.
You can't finish, honestly, bro, ending with, a legend like Nate Dogg, who passed away, and it's still unbelievable to this day. But to end it with something like that with Nate Dogg is incredible,
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of cool how you kind of compared it a little bit to what Kendrick did with Tupac, and I totally forgot about that. Like, I might have to go back and listen to it again today, because I honestly forgot about what Kendrick did when he kind of had that interview style with Tupac. And so, when I listened to this track, man, I was just like, wow, like, you can tell it was probably just amazing to at least have Nate Dogg's, voice still.
It must have. I felt like it must have been like an emotional experience for everybody involved with this song. Sure. Just knowing that, this was something Nate Dogg never put out. This is something that, someone who was really close to Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that everybody kind of felt his spirit in the room, just kind of when they were tracking the song and they were doing it, because they kind of overlap their vocals and kind of do that thing on the bridge and on the chorus and stuff like that. So it was kind of cool seeing that. It almost like they were bouncing off of each other
going back and forth
without even being next to each other. So it was really cool. It sounded cool.
Yeah.
So if the first song isn't my favorite, the last one for sure is.
Okay, so the first one is your favorite, but the last one is definitely kind of.
So it's between those two, man.
Okay, so what would you rank it? For me, I'll start first. I say it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
I would say a solid 8 out of 10 for me too. It was really, really great.
Yeah.
Everything, it was consistent. That's one thing that I loved about it, is that it was consistent, and nobody can tell me otherwise that this album did not have like an actual direction where it was going. Like, it wasn't just sporadic and like the ideas and the sound. So I feel like sonically, I feel like, lyrically, everything about the album was consistent and good.
I agree.
I give it an 8 out of 10 just because I feel like this isn't Paak's best yet. Like, I feel like he's still got
he has more to go.
He's still got more to go and more to grow on. I feel like it's a great album. I'm just excited for what's next, honestly.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat, man. I give it an 8 out of 10 just because, again, it's not his best. Even though I do like it better than Oxnard, but I do feel like this is the album that we're going to see something similar like this going forward.
Yeah, he was able to kind of express himself a little bit more on this album.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's going to be able to kind of explore that a little bit more on whatever project he has coming up.
Yeah, and that's why it makes it so exciting just to see, because, he's released, man, some good music, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And you always wonder, like, what's next? How can you beat? Of course, it's kind of hard to beat his old stuff, but, there's always room for improvement, as an artist, but it's just like, bro, I want to see what's next, dog.
It's crazy how he's put out 4 albums and they've all been consistently good.
Yeah.
Like, they've all been good. There's not a single thing that I can honestly say about any of the albums where I'm like, I just don't like it.
Yeah. I still feel like he slept on, though.
I do, too. Like, a lot of people will look at like someone like Drake, who kind of really shook up the rap scene and the hip hop scene, and I look at Anderson Paak and he's just kind of shaking the music scene in general.
He is.
He's doing his thing and he's doing it consistently well.
He is. And so, again, bro, I'm still jealous that you're going to the concert,
bro, but you need to go.
I'm gonna try to. We'll see. But yeah, man, I love this album though. I really do. I'm still listening to still this day.
Yeah, me too.
And I just can't wait to see what's next, man. 'Cause I know that he's gonna put out more and more great content and great music, and I just, I'm excited, man, just to see what comes up next, and I just can't wait for the future, bro. Like,
me too.
Music is going in a good route, in my opinion, at least for some of the industry, but I do feel like Anderson is going to be one of those artists that's going to keep it consistent because he's not going to change who he is. Mm-hmm. He's going to change, I'm sure, his sound. He's going to do something different.
Evolve.
Yeah, but his evolution is going to be incredible. And so I'm just excited, man, and I'm sure you are too.
Me too. I'm really excited for what's next.
Yeah,
I'm excited for whoever he's going to work with next.
Oh, yeah,
and he's already worked with greats. And so,
absolutely.
I can imagine that, with the influence that he has right now and that, the great place he is with his music, I feel like a lot of people are going to reach out and try to collaborate with him.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for that.
I can't wait, man. So thank you guys for all the love and support on the channel. Please let us know if you've listened to the album. If not, you got to check it out. Like, what you waiting on?
What you waiting on?
What you waiting on? So let us know because we love this album and we want to, we want to see what you think about it. And so we love you guys, and we'll be back at it with another episode coming soon. Peace.